I finished my food and he's dropping stuff over here. Alright, Chong. Take this little bouncy ball somewhere else. You're dropping all my stuff. Knocking over all of my pillows. Ugh. It never ends when you have a dog. But I'm back. Oh Lord, here he goes. He's gonna run back and forth with his ball now. But I'll just leave these out till I get somebody. I think I have somebody. Okay. Oh. Well, last stream was pretty good. I got my good evening post out for everybody. I don't like to leave people out on my good evening posts. Even if they're on different networks, I don't like to do it. So I go ahead and I make sure everybody gets a piece of it. Alright, Chong, not on the bed. So, Chong. Chong. Not on the bed. I guess I gotta put this in the cage. All you're doing is knocking all of my stuff over. Randomly. With that ball. Oh, Lord. Okay. What, Chong? What's your issue over there? I'm sorry, you're sitting there being a terrorist about that thing. It's better to have peace than terrorizing me with toys. But I'm over here again. I'm through with my dinner break. Okay. Oh boy. God, am I popular. I'm not used to all this. I got the camera jacked up a little bit. Yeah, you guys can ask me a question. I don't care. But I have these streams because you guys seem to like it. I did a couple of days and everybody seems to like the tarot readings. So I figured I'd just keep going along with these for try to get as many of these done as I can. I think I have 171 streams I have total. Alright, hang on. What is going on here? Okay. Can you please say hi to my cousin? Who's your cousin? Oh, okay, I see him now. I see the name. Emma? Amaya? Is that it? Amaya? It looks like Amaya to me. But hello, Amaya. Thank you for caring about my existence here in the basement. I'm calling this the basement of YouTube. I'm like all the big YouTubers, and then I'm the person in the basement that broadcasts once in a while. That's how I like to think of it. Oh, I'm going to be smoking. I already have some put out. This is how I get my inspiration and clear my head, is smoking weed. I don't smoke weed at work, but I will smoke it at home. I don't got to do paperwork. I don't see anybody having a potential heart attack or anything at home, so I sure do. I feel if you're in the medical field, you need weed because you got to deal with all the people. And people that are sick are very grouchy. Very grouchy. And I get it, they're sick. You know, when you have cancer, you're not going to be the best person to be around with in the world, so I don't care. I just say, okay, do what I need to do and leave. But I feel we all need a little weed in the medical field. That's some. I feel that when you're sick or someone pisses you off is when you're in your most stressful time. So I deal with people in the most stressful times of their life, or when they're just simply there, somebody dies. You got to report the death. Everybody's coming, and it's a very emotional time for a family when they're gathered around their loved one that passed away. They say their last goodbyes right at the nursing home. So generally, unless you're real sick, you're not going to die in the hospital. I do know this, that hospitals don't want their mortality rates going high. So they will send you somewhere else before you die there. So generally you're dying at home or a nursing home. If you do die at the hospital, it's because something horrific happened. But I do know those rules. And they have a lot of rules about this stuff. It's insane how much rules they got. I mean, there could be someone 100 years old and they'll ask us, well, why'd they die? They're 100 years old. I mean, what are you going to do? I was 100 years old and I died in peace. I'd be happy. We cannot keep them alive forever. Only God can decide when people die. We maintain, I feel we give them as much quality as they can to their life and happiness. We make sure they got their sugars and creams, but in the end, we're not the ones that are prolonging their life. That's up to a higher power, but these families don't realize it. Sometimes they say, oh, we pay all this a month. That's like, okay, but I'm not the reaper. I don't know when their time's up. I can't tell you. What are you going to do? This is one of my favorite ones from my husband's collection. When he cleans some of these other bongs, he has a bunch of them. He has other ones in boxes. Because he used to get this 420 box. I forgot he follows all these weed tube feeder, the YouTubers, and he ordered this box and he gets all kinds of like new pipes in, but I don't know how to clean them all, so that's how we got so many pipes. And then he goes to the smoke shop and sees all these other ones that he likes, and then before we know it, I have to build a cabinet. So that's how this goes in my life. But today was honestly pretty good. And at least I don't have to deal with the chaos too bad at work. I feel I'll get through my 5 days pretty good now that I negotiated with the boss and told her I was going to leave unless I had a less stressful time at work. Their negotiations went well. And I do like working. I love keeping busy, so I'm not harassed anymore. If it's a too stressful of environment, they won't put me in it, so which is even better for me. So I'm happy with that. So, but I do have a 5 day stretch going on. But I don't know. I guess at least I can stay 4 hours over and only work 3 days and just have my whole days done. My brother even feels this would be a better schedule for me. because I'm just tired of if he has something to do or whatever. But I guess Lyft. I don't know if any of you guys take Lyft, but their prices went up. I guess my husband was saying for us to get to where our mother-in-law lives, which is not too far of a drive. I want to say maybe like 15 minutes. They're charging like $50. But my brother has a condo right next to my work, so he's gonna bring. He gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's a psychopath. Even when you don't have to be up in the morning, he's up by 4 in the morning. And literally at 5:30, where he got his bypass thing because I guess he wasn't breathing good at night. He would oversleep sometimes, but he gets up early so much. And then and if he has something to do, I'm just gonna walk to his condo, and then he could drive me over to my apartment because I'm not paying some of these inflated prices. And I was taking Lyft before, and it was not horrible, but they've went up. I don't know how many times things have to go up to where they realize that they're not going to make any money in Christmas time. If you got to pay outrageous rent and even gas they're probably going to boost. I don't know if they'll boost that up. There's usually a war with gas. But even so, if you got to pay all this stuff out through the year, why would you spend a bunch of money on Christmas? All I told my husband was I rescued Chong and I said this is your Christmas and birthday present, and he got really nothing. I think I got him one sentimental thing and that was it. Because you got to pay your rent, and then if you have a car payment, you got to pay that. Then you got to pay your insurance. It's expensive. They might as well just give up. I mean, honestly, I think if we just didn't buy a shit ton of stuff around Christmas from these stores, I think they would rethink things. Because that's what they really want. Is they want to boost the economy, but you have to have money to go to the store. So honestly, I would just, and I think that's why food's going up, because that's all people are buying. I mean, if this keeps up, like I said, these stores make a lot of money in these companies around Christmas. I mean, how many people are going to be splurging high in Christmas? Because I could, but I don't, because I don't feel that. I feel that they jack up these prices and you don't get your money's worth. So I don't do anything that I don't feel like I get my money's worth. I just don't like some of the stuff. Just like Dollar General, I've got 3 bags, and it was stupid stuff and stuff for Chong and stuff like that. And I ended up paying $140, and I'm like, oh wow. You don't really realize that you go there, but pretty soon, that's why all these stores are going out of business. There's going to be, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be bad or good. Because at least I like to be able to go to the store to pick up certain items. And once you get rid of all that, some stores are going to have to stay open. But maybe it'll flourish in another kind of economy. I don't know. It's going to be tricky. We're in between a lot of different things right now. And then restaurants are hurting. I guess in Ohio they're going to be paying the waitresses minimum wage, and I guess I don't know what they're going to do with the tips. That's the thing. I don't know if the tips are added in or what. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they're going to pay the cooks more. And maybe they're just, I have no clue how all this is going to work out, but all I know is everything's messed up in the world with all this non-budgeting the money right. And they don't. And everything's coming up short because something's not popping off. And I think it's honestly, obviously, it's because we're not buying nothing. But I don't know how they're going to do the standstill. I don't really understand how that's going to work out. Because I don't think Christmas is going to be happy this year with this economy the way it's going. I don't know if other countries it's better. I haven't researched it enough for that, but I feel that the most meaningful presents are the ones that don't cost so much. And I feel if you make them and they're from your heart, it's better. So last Christmas, I just made everybody necklaces for my work and bracelets and stuff for their car, and I called it. I was just done. And I don't know, maybe we just need to be more basic in the world, I'm thinking. I feel if we were a little more basic, kind of like a little house on the prairie, but with Xboxes, I feel the world would be a better place. Just a more modern version of it. As I even feel that we lose touch of people and don't know how to talk to people because we have social media and this and that. And sometimes we just don't like to, we don't know how to relate to people face to face. Because when I was younger, you always went outside and you rode your bike. I mean, Atari and all that was just starting to come out. My dad had an Atari, and it was the best thing in the world. And my dad was playing that. And because we had money, I had a VCR too. We had a couple TVs, but I feel times were better because you learned to get along with people. There was more jobs, so everybody, the crime was always there, but it wasn't like now. I mean, yeah, people did coke and things like that, but usually it was rich people were usually the ones on drugs a lot because it was expensive to get coke, so nobody would do coke. They would just like grow their own weed or something and be sneaky about it. And even weed wasn't like it is now. It was just the budgie. But that's what people did, and it was like $5. I remember for a nickel bag, and it was always from somebody that was growing a couple plants where you're one of your neighbors. And they just made like little side hustles sometimes because it wasn't a big deal. Nothing happened to it. You just didn't know if it was going to get you high or not, but it wouldn't hurt you. But I feel when times were simpler, people did less drugs. So maybe instead of thinking of it in a perspective of it's not going to get better, maybe we should just get more simple and be happy over little things. I'm happy when somebody, like one of my friends, stops by and says, "Oh, I got you a bottle of perfume," or "I got you an outfit for live streaming." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." And it could be just somebody from one of their kids that gave me a cute outfit. And it makes me happy. And I feel that people were happy with simple things, we would just be happier altogether. We'd spend less, we would use less resources. So, this creative society on YouTube that terrifies me with the plastic, because apparently it's coating the whole ocean floor and it's holding in heat and it's putting us into this like where space dust is hitting us, and I guess it's doing bad things. So maybe if we live more basic, we use less plastic because the more we reuse of it, and hopefully get a lot of smart people in the world, we can figure out this whole plastic situation. Because I feel that the environmental issues are very important, and everybody else is talking about everything but the environment. And the thing is this is our own backyard. And the poor dolphins, their numbers are going down. I feel bad for them. Who's going to protect us from the sharks? And really, that plastic in the ocean is not good for anybody. So I don't know the answers, but I feel if we were more simple people and we were thinking like that and just hanging out with each other, I feel there'd be less issues in the world. Because if you can learn to get along with your enemy or make peace with your enemy and think about the other issue, invest your issues on more important things, I feel like all these little things that end up in a big issue will go away. And then we might go back to where people make things more. It's not hard to make anything. I make crystal sets all the time. You can make crystal jewelry, you can make any kind of jewelry. They got jewelry sets you can get right on Amazon. And I don't know. I feel like all this greed is not doing us good either. Like all these people that have to go and have a $500 dress. I mean, I get it, but you have to have so many $500 dresses. And then the fur issue. I don't like I don't like the fact that an animal was skinned for a coat. I really don't. I don't own any fur. I don't like it. I mean, I do have some leather and I feel guilty about it. But fur, no way. Even if somebody gave me a $10,000 coat that, I would just be like, I would not wear it and I put the sign of the cross in front of that coat. I would not deal with that fur because I love the animals too much. I'm not going to wear my friend's skin. I mean, I do. I hate how they kill the cows. Hate it. I keep seeing about this industrial farming. I don't know if you guys see it. I'm sure they have it on YouTube. Look it up. They have these pigs that stay in cages, and it's horrifying. It made me it made me cry. And it's like at least in the farm they're walking around. They keep them in these steel cages, and I don't know what happens. Maybe they let them out of the cage to clean up their feces. I'm hoping, but they never get to walk around the yard. And then when they go and they artificially inseminate them, they give birth, and they don't even get to look at their babies. They're in the cages, and their little nipple thingies are sticking out, and that's how they don't even get to look at their own kids while they're nursing. I just find it horrifying. I think we could find better ways of doing things. I don't know what the answers are, but something has to happen. And the poor cows. They had a thing where the guy on Facebook, where the guy worked in a slaughterhouse, and he was showing pictures, and he said, if you think cows don't cry, this might change your mind. And all the heads from the cows had bleeding tears. It was so horrifying. There has to be a better way of killing the cows. I mean, I don't know. A bullet to the head, I think, would be okay. I think it would be a good mercy kill. But I don't know enough about farming, and I just think the slaughterhouses sometimes are inhumane. And my thing is, I know it costs a little money to probably have a better treatment of an animal, but wouldn't it be better to give a couple dollars to an animal to die a better death? We do it for us with hospice. I mean, they lived so we can eat. Why can't they be killed in a good manner? And I don't understand when corporate got involved with farming. These farmers are struggling, and Honestly, I wouldn't care. I would go to a farm and get my stuff. I mean, it would be easier. You could go and do that, and if all the farmers, if the corporate stepped out of farming, it would bring a lot of jobs. They're doing nothing but hurt the animals. Corporate people are not nice to animals at all. They do some of the most inhumane practices, and honestly, a good farmer tries to treat their animals good, and they give them the most great. They die in grace, and this is the absolute truth. And I don't understand where it came to where these animals got treated like they do, and all the cows have bleeding tears. They literally do. They line them up and they cut their heads, and the last thing they see is all their friends' heads in a pile. And I don't know if I want to see all of my the last thing that I die seeing all my friends their heads in a pile. I don't know if I'd have enough mental health for all that, honestly. But I think if we all came together, they have petitions to end this corporate farming on Facebook. But I feel if we came together on YouTube, we can stop or at least put some regulations on this corporate farming because people are losing farms and everything. And I just feel like it'd be a good livelihood. Or maybe where they could take less taxes or where they're making some money off the farmers, but not so much to where the farmers can't live. Because it has a bad if there was more farmers in every country, honestly the food would be a more local source and it could work out and they could just take an extra cut from the farmer no matter how much they make they just take a little extra cut. It can keep all the farmers in business and the governments could take all their little extra money because they're greedy, but it doesn't have to break the farmer's budget. Just do it in such a way where the farmers can live but they're still getting their extra cut for doing nothing. This is why sometimes I don't understand why lawmakers. I mean, some of them I don't know enough about politics because I've never been a politician, but I feel they could do a little more if they wanted to. And I feel people suffer more than they need to because they want to pocket all the money. Because people, they get a lot of money. And the thing is, a lot of this money gets distributed for illegal activity, and I guess drugs would be under illegal. And then you got legal drugs, so you got all this money going around. You think that they would support the one thing and get an extra cut out of the one thing that's the most honest, which is farming. I mean, honestly, people are farming weed now, and I feel the animals kind of got pushed aside and everybody forgot about them because bloody tears are going every day in the slaughterhouses, and I haven't seen any more petitions for this corporate farming. It just needs to go. I mean, I feel guilty eating a hamburger seeing that reel. It was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. But this is why sometimes I can't live stream over on Facebook because I mentioned bloody tears and a death that has no mercy. And I talk like this all the time over there, and they say that I upset people. But I only speak the truth. It is true. Obviously, if there's bloody tears, the cows cried and they felt pain. They can't get a painkiller. I mean, when people die at my work, they have Roxanol, morphine. They have all the goodies. These guys can't get nothing. They're dying to go to Chipotle and McDonald's and everything else for us. So they can't get a little bit of relief before they die. I mean, we treat them like crap. And I get it that they gotta die, but I feel that they die in the most inhumane way and we forget about them. You forget about them because you eat them. And I feel that's what happens to us as human beings. We forget about the things we eat. And I feel that there has to be some respect with life and death and just basic humanity. And us killing these animals like this is not giving them any humanity. And it makes me very sad. I mean, I guess that's one reason I started this channel. Because I see all the stuff, and then I see people trying to make a change, and then nothing ever happens. I mean, I get it. I was a vegetarian. My husband's obviously a meat eater because he's a chef, so I get it. But if I had to die to be a McDonald's hamburger, I would at least like to be put to sleep. This is all I'm saying. I don't want the last thing is all my friends looking at all my their heads. That's like the chainsaw massacre in a damn slaughterhouse. That's what Leatherface did. He would chop heads off, and then when they died, they seen all their friends' body parts. I mean, I think they're Texas Chainsaw fans. They would have to be, and I get it. It was a great movie. I like the original, and it was based on a real thing that actually happened in Texas. I mean, sometimes the weirdest things happen in Texas, and you don't even realize. It's just so feral over there. They've always been open carry, and you just don't mess with Texas. Texas has always kind of been in that way, but I don't know. I just think that maybe we should like put on the when everybody's fighting over these other issues, we should put on the ballot more humane ways of animals being slaughtered, and then put in petitions for these farmers. Because they're basic things. People that provide food and provide health services, and cops, healthcare, and food are your three industries that thrive every country. And I get they want to overcharge, but I feel anybody dealing with food, your three big ones. And I feel that all these conditions of the food, for us, they just don't care about the animal standpoint. I feel like they're just slaves. But then my husband says they have to die because that's what meat eaters do. But I feel there could be better ways. And this is just coming from a regular person. And the veal, don't get me started on that. That's awful. Those baby cows don't get to move because if they get too much muscle, the meat isn't tender. So they don't even let a baby cow move, and that's how they get veal. Is it that important to have a tender piece of meat if a baby didn't even get to walk around? I mean, to me, I wouldn't want to eat a baby cow. But my dad used to love veal, and I used to eat a salad. I would not touch that thing. But there's a lot less people eating veal now. I have noticed. So hopefully we could get these petitions or something, a movement going to stop this corporate farming. Because sometimes I think that we worry about us so much, we don't worry about the world around us. I mean, we're here to do stuff, yeah, but we're here to respect things around us too on the planet. Because before you die, you have all these chances to do something good, and if you piss away every chance, it's not helping the world around you. And I do try to help the world around me. I don't know if I would be a good animal rescue person. I was thinking about this. I don't know if I have enough energy to go and plane rides and run after animals, but I wouldn't mind sponsoring it. That I wouldn't. Or just, I don't know, maybe assisting once in a while. I would need other people because I do respect these guys. I was over here watching videos, and then another person I subscribe to, Dogs Are Family. I subscribe to them, and the person that subscribed to me in the last stream, I subscribed to them. So I'm treating this like Facebook. If you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe to you. I don't have my bank information over here, and I'm not even at 500 subscriptions. So if you're a YouTuber that you got to pay $1 and this and that, I don't like sharing my bank information unless I'm with that network and I'm monetized. On Facebook, I'm monetized. So that's a little different. And Instagram, I'm monetized too. Snapchat, no. Twitter, no. TikTok, no. And here, no. So if you subscribe to me and I gotta pay $1, usually I have my money and I do when I get monetized, I do it a certain way so I have like extra like stuff protecting my information. That would have to be a later day when I get an actual setup over here. Because that takes work. But I don't know. Those guys are so organized and those dogs are family. Somebody actually shot a dog and by their spine, and their spine was sticking out, and they were running up the street. I I was horrified. Why would you, if you were to shoot a dog, which you shouldn't shoot a dog, period? Why would you shoot them in the spine? Why wouldn't you just shoot them in the head? This is what I'm saying. How cruel this is. I mean, if I was probably on my way, I don't even have a gun, but if I was put in a situation where I seen a dog's spine and people were seen a dog that was tortured by like that, I probably would try to take them somewhere to get euthanized at that point. But why would you not shoot them in the head? It just makes me angry. Why can't animals have mercy kills? I don't understand. If Are the people abusing these animals just don't like animals, and if they don't like them, why aren't they just shooting them in the head and being done with their business? The one dog they tied to a tree. It was on Dogs Our Family too. They tied this dog to the tree while she was pregnant, and it was like I think I said the last live stream was horrible. It was like 9 months. And she was, I guess when they got her, the rescuer said the milk was bloody. I mean, they did save her and put her through surgery, but she lasted a week. But why would anybody do that? I don't understand. If they didn't want her in, that was that much of a burden. Instead of putting an animal through so much pain, why wouldn't you mercy kill them? I don't get it. It gives them so much prolonged suffering. It's awful. I mean, the dogs get treated worse than the cows. At least the cows get their head chopped off and it's over with. I mean, the dogs get this raw end of the deal. And I've never seen such terrifying. That's like Holocaust shit that you see over how people are doing animals. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're going to be that nasty or whatever, why did you even get the dog to begin with? But if you're going to do some nasty stuff to the dog, why let them sit there and go up the street and have to find a stranger to find them to euthanize them with their spine sticking out? I honestly don't understand where people's logic is. And that does bother me about society. It really does. Mercy kills have been around since, God, forever. The Vikings, I think, started it. If you were in battle in ancient Viking history, they actually, like, let's say someone's, like, got injured or whatever, the enemy was coming, yada, 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 whatever. You're in battle. A lot of times they would have the soldiers mercy kill the other ones that couldn't go. And it was a very honorable, it's an honorable practice, and it was through history very honorable to do this. Because if you know that, and they wanted to make sure people didn't suffer. And it's always been a big thing, and I think, I don't know what happened when we modernized as society and got all these different weapons. Somehow society got more corrupted and to where we would just do more torturous stuff, because by the time the Middle Ages set in, they started the torture machines like the stretcher and the ones the finger thing, and they used to literally just get torture machines and they'd make them, and we started getting very dark in the Middle Ages, very dark. And from what I hear, it was a horrible time to live. They had just, people were very cruel then. We got a little bit better, but I feel we can do better with a little work. Because the Middle Ages was bad. And when they burned all the books, and they did a lot of stuff through history that was horrible. I feel strongly about history, I guess, because I know it repeats itself, and it just lets you know kind of about people and shows you how to relate and how some people act one way and another. But it's a very interesting topic, and when you perceive life and you kind of think of events and try to put it on a bigger scale, sometimes you get better perspective in life. I try to put everything in my life in a bigger perspective. So hopefully one day a movement is started for these farmers, because I would like to support farmers, the actual farmers that are doing good practices. Because I believe farmers respect the animals more than anything, traditional farmers. And it's a heart of a society. Viking farmers, when farming was up to had individual families had farms, life was a little better. And I'm not saying everybody has to have a farm. I'm just saying instead of having corporate involved with every farm, I think I wouldn't have to worry about bloody tears if a farmer was involved. A normal farmer, not Kevorkian farmers. I call them Dr. Kevorkian farmers because they're just, I don't know, they're just relentless. I call my doctor Dr. Kevorkian too because I don't like the stuff. Sometimes doctors bother me. I'm not a fan. Sometimes the bedside manner is sometimes not good. This is why I choose to try to fix myself up a lot of times. All right. Well, I am. It's almost been an hour, and this is pretty good. If you guys don't have any issues in the world and need any insight, I'm probably gonna take me a nap and get ready for work tomorrow. And I mean, it's awesome you guys just come pouring in the stream. I mean, to me, I was just happy just to have an activity to do, but usually I knit because there's nobody ever in the stream. And now I get a bunch of people all the time. I'm very appreciative. So if you did subscribe to me, I'll look in my bell and I'll subscribe to you too because I subscribed to the last person. Because I get them if you're like, if you have a channel, it comes up and it'll say you subscribe to me. So I'll look at the bell because I feel we should all be friends and come together as YouTube creators and support each other. I feel if we did that, it would be a better world. So even if, I don't even know who you are, I'll still check out your stuff and support you. I'm that kind of person. I sometimes have as many followers as I follow on other channels. I don't care. To me, I'm no better than anyone else. Because I really am not. I'm just one person in the world that's trying to help out the animals and to make sure the animals are taken care of. The human beings have to be good too. Because the human beings have to take care of the animals. So I'm hoping everyone's taking care of their animals. I mean, maybe we can fight together for this corporate farming to go away. Or at least some regulations. I don't know. It's probably going to take 5-10 years. I don't know how many cows are going to have bloody tears by the time it goes through, or even is said to go through. Probably generations of cows are going to have this fate. So, and I know the farmers are hurt because there's YouTubers over here interviewing and farmers and all that, and they really are hurting. I mean, it's sad. It really, really, really is sad. And the thing is, one person doesn't need a ton of money. I mean, you could go to the dollar store, the right dollar store, and get a couple things and look halfway decent. Usually Dollar General or something like that. But if you shop where you kind of know your fashion, you could save a lot. But I do feel, on a side note, that I would like to start a movement with this. I was thinking about trying to gather up money for the farmers on Facebook, actually. I don't know how about to do, but I know I can do sponsorships over there and stuff, and I can help raise money. So I'm thinking about starting to figure out how to raise money for these bloody tears. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep good at night until I start a Facebook thing and try to get them some money. But then again, there's all these fraudulent people. If I raise money on Facebook for these farmers, I feel that I don't know if the money's going directly to the farmers. You got that too going on. So I don't know. I got to research this too. Maybe I could start an awareness movement over here and see if they got any like resources you could do here. I know on Facebook they have you donate to like foundations, and you can with your reels you could save money. You can like donate your money with all the reels. I don't know if they do that here. I don't even know if all these are I'm sending over are considered reels. I mean, they originally were, so I don't know if they're post reels or what they're called over here. I haven't got through all the rules. There's like a big things of rules over here. I know there's a limit on shorts. And to survive on Facebook, you have to have like different shorts every day, or you just lose popularity quick. So, I mean, I think I'm able to upload more now than I used to. It was like, oh god, my sister finally replied. She's back from the dead. Look at that. She was on a social media break. I asked her if she died. And she put laugh out loud, no. And then she took, like, because she always does these really cool reels for TikTok. She's more into TikTok than anything. She literally does all this stuff. She has all these different filters. They do have good filters. Around Christmas time, I did a reel, and I loved it. I shared it over to Facebook too. I don't know. I think I shared it over to over here. It had the Grinch, and the Grinch was dancing around you, and I love the Grinch. Around Christmas time, I do like special reels over there, but I love all their holiday reel editing because they have it, and they had Santa and his elves, and they have all these really cool filters. I mean, I think that's what I like the most about TikTok is I think they have the most awesome filters, especially for like holidays. And I got so many views. I didn't make no money on it because it was from my TikTok, but I don't know. I did make money a little, like I got a lot of views, but I don't any make the money on TikTok yet. I'm gonna see how much I can get without. It seems that when I'm sharing my Instagram over there, they're more interesting in what I'm doing. And I'm gathering up followers, but it's like maybe 10 or 20. But over time, that adds up. Because I refuse to pay for followers. I really do. I my daughter-in-law did that on TikTok, and I feel she cheated. I really do. I feel if you get all those followers and get your live button too soon, you don't get yourself organized together enough to kind of know what you're doing. Because you got to have some kind of theme, a thumbnail, and there's just so much little preparations. And my son bought her this. Like he goes, "Ma, you could buy these followers, 5,000 for this much." I was like, "They're gonna know you're a fraud then." I think I only got like 400, but I only need 1,000. And when they see my Instagram reels and stuff and my promotional stuff over here, I'm gathering them up. So we'll see how my social experiment goes on over there. TikTok, I really just do a lot of like holiday stuff. I probably should have done my one holiday one over there, but honestly, I got a good editing program now, so I don't really need TikTok. But around Christmas time, I like their little Grinch filters and all the new ones. They even had Walt Disney ones, and it was so cute where Mickey was dancing around you and stuff. I find these little things amusing. My husband thinks it's ridiculous. I find them funny. I just like funny filters and I like to try to laugh. I feel if you can't laugh and have fun for the day, it's it wasn't worth waking up. And I can find fun in the day with literally just waking up and looking at crazy stuff. And this is essentially what I do. I look at crazy stuff. Usually crazy, funny stuff, but every once in a while something crosses my path that's horrible. And that's when I realize I need to say something to maybe start awareness or just help. Because they said on all these things that the more you say about this farming could help the farmer. So if maybe one day I got 500 subscribers and I actually was making a little money, maybe I could help the farmers. I don't know. I mean, they have that dog food, the farmer's dog. The farmers know their animals. So, what are you going to do? It's the world. But I do feel like I would be like better off in that kind of area. Because I don't know. I don't know enough. Sometimes it's hard for me to decipher people when they're overly emotional when they're talking to you. I don't know sometimes where the energy comes in and out from. So I don't like to say much. So I don't know if I'd be that kind of person. Definitely animal awareness person. I wouldn't mind going to slaughterhouses and talking about like practices and things like that. Maybe not so much interviewing, but blogging the truth. I wouldn't mind being a blogger and blogging the truth. Kind of like a cop, but I'm not a cop, but I'm looking for the truth and I'm going to find it and blog it. You know, because I don't mind the truth. Sometimes the truth is not what you thought it was, but at least you know what it is so you can move on with things. And I just move it along. This is what I do all day long. Because if you can't just move it along and let it go, your day seems so much more depressing. But that's what I do. I'm like, oh, well, this happened. That was aggravating as hell. I'm going to move it along. And I don't think about it after that. I just move it along and it went away. It just went bye bye. And I guess I do every day like this. Sometimes I don't know if I'm going to do 2 streams a day or 3. I see where the day and where the wind takes me. Because sometimes I got things to do, sometimes I don't. I mean, life is life. What are you going to do? But I mean, I started out promoting dog stuff, but I do try to talk about animals in my streams because Chong the dog is still about animal awareness. That's one of our main things. It's not so much the tarot card readings. That's why I don't really care, and I don't understand why people charge for them. But I guess our main thing on this channel is trying to promote the animals from not suffering. And it's not just dogs, it's all animals. I would like to promote it where animals don't have to suffer and just have a whole promotional thing, but do other things also. Like, if I want to do tarot reading, because I would think animal rescuing after a while would get very boring or just stressful. So sometimes, there's a whole group of them, so I can see why it's not too bad. But I still like to have this channel where it's like an open forum, because I like this open forum type of deal. Because they used to have this kind of thing on 2020 a lot, where people would interview, but it was kind of like this, and they would have different people, but it was obviously a better screen. But also, I feel like maybe if I got a little bit of opportunity, a little money to do other stuff, I could like do animal promotions too. Maybe even try to go to shelters and try to help them out. That's one thing I would like this channel to do. Like if I know they don't have enough cages or something, because I can get my brother, and by that time, hope to God I got another phone, because I did upgrade it. I tweaked it a little, but I don't know how much longer it's gonna last because I got a lot of social media. But hopefully my phone gets a lot better by then, and me and my brother can start going to animal shelters, and we can ask if we're able to tape and start going through them. Because I would like to just focus on maybe just having more humanity. So I kind of want to stick with humanity with the animals and people, but maybe just go and visit the shelters and actually kind of like what Mr. Beast kind of where he gives people stuff. I wouldn't mind just randomly just be the person that goes to dog shelters and asks what they need and sit there and talk to the animal shelters. I wouldn't mind interviewing just animal shelters. And I can go locally out or there, because there's a lot of animal shelters that need money. And I can probably at that time would probably have a way better camera and just go to there. And then if I ever got big enough, I could be like the Mr. Beast of dog shelters. I was thinking of that idea too. I think that would suit me really well. I just randomly go to the dog shelters, talk to everybody, and maybe even while I'm there, whatever animals they have, put them on Chong the dog. Like take videos of each one and just sponsor them and just hand them money and get a video, because that could be a future thing for me, and I think I would do well with that, because let's all face it, I'm not sophisticated talking at all. I don't. They have some of these live streamers have this serious face, and it's crazy. And they go they got their little formal language. Nobody says fuck or shit or nothing. It's very formal. I don't know if I could do that, so I feel I should just go to the animal shelters and just have a whole video. I wouldn't cuss in the animal shelter because I don't know. I like them. They're my friends, the animals. So I think I would just go there, visit, ask how much money they need for extra food. Are you running out of food? And what can I do to help promote your animals? And start doing stuff like that. I feel that I would be beneficial in the world if I started doing that. So this is my new goal. I'm still going to do the terror streams. I feel they're good because it gives morale and kind of shows you the other side of Chong. But the main side of Chong, I want to be the one that's trying to help someone or like just randomly give to all these shelters or just animals and people in need. I'm really tinkering with the idea, but I mean, this is far off in the future, very far off in the future. So, but I'm thinking of that's my personality because my husband said when you get on YouTube, you have to have your own personality. I am a smartass, but I do have a deep passion for animals. But then I'd like to do tarot readings. So I already incorporated the tarot readings. So I'm thinking about when in the near whatever future, when the universe allows it, when I get a little bit of money together, I think I'm just going to visit a lot of people in need. Maybe just try to get specific people in need. Like that, or set up situations or something, I don't know. But it'd probably be something like that, because I can write dialogue. I'm very good at writing dialogue. I could do a lot of things. Because I was thinking, I always, Oprah Winfrey, I got her a TV network. And that back in the day was great, but this is almost like a TV network. So, because they have that one where, what would you do? I'm thinking about starting a Chong version of it. I think that would be nice. And it wouldn't be overly expensive either. I could just have two people helping me with cameras because they're like in the van type thing. And they're somewhere outside too. And they all come in. So I'm thinking I only need three people. So it wouldn't be that hard to do. And I would probably do it with try to do it with people that like I don't know. It couldn't be. I'm not going in crazy territory where I'm going to get attacked. I'm really not. I don't want to do all that. But I do feel that I heavily want to do the shelters first. So I'll probably do the shelters and give them their own spot over here, and just interview and show the animals. Because I can go to the shelter and I'm really good with animals. I'm so good with animals. Animals that are hateful and horrible love me. I think if I went and taped the different animals and said, where they're up for adoption, and maybe they see me interacting with the animal, I think that would be beneficial to the world because if you could save one animal, which it would be a cheap budget, because most shelters want the exposure, they want it. And they love channels promoting the shelters. They love it because the channels always donate directly to them. And then this way I could be like, I'm not saying that I'm subscribed to Dogs or Family, and I'm gonna pay that extra dollar probably in a couple weeks because they deserve the extra dollar. They do good work over there. They see so many things. The one video I was watching, they all were crying. I was crying with them. They have some emotional videos over there. But I will let you guys go. But I'm gonna probably come on tomorrow. I've been feeling a little better, and I'm sure I won't be overworked tomorrow. So I'll probably be on after work, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And I'm probably gonna send my good night post out soon too. All right. Thank you for a good conversation. Yeah.